Welcome to Let's Buy Property. I'm your host, Tony Amato, co-founder and director of Amato Property, a buyer's agency focused on helping home buyers find their perfect property in the Newcastle and Lake Macquarie region of New South Wales and investors across this great country. So whether you're looking to invest, relocate to this amazing part of Australia, or just get a feel for the local market, you've come to the right place. Today we're speaking to Josh Stewart, financial advisor with Value Wealth, and we've got a great discussion lined up focusing on self-managed super funds and how they can be used to supercharge your financial future through property investment. Josh has a deep understanding and expertise in this area, so if you're already managing your self-managed super fund or thinking about using it to invest in property, this chat is sure to offer some valuable insights. So grab a coffee, sit back, and let's dive into the world of real estate and local life. Let's get started. So Josh, thanks for coming along for a chat today and hosting us in your new rooms.
Yeah, that's all right.
I thought we might just start with, having a quick chat or filling us in a bit about yourself. Tell us a bit about you and your business.
Yeah, so I'm a financial advisor with over a decade of experience, specialising in retirement planning. So a lot of the stuff I do is around superannuation, including self-managed super funds and other products. And yeah, deal with a lot of business clients as well as sort of that mid-level or mid to senior level kind of executives.
Yep.
In that front. So a lot of stuff we do is around superannuation, self-managed super funds, and also look at kind of intergenerational planning with kids and things like that, which is where self-managed super funds and properties and things like that can really come into it for those clients.
Yeah, right. So you're looking at that sort of pre-retirement stage of life, I guess.
Yeah, so a lot of the time it's kind of 50% of the market that's seeking advice is that pre-retirement. So I call it the sprint before retirement. So that lasts 5 to 10 years. So yeah, dealing with clients mostly in that 50 plus market.
Yeah, fantastic. So look, I'm really excited to dive into the self-managed super fund side of things and invest in property. But I figure we should probably start with the basics, and if you could share a little bit about what is a self-managed super fund, and give us a rundown on how and why people would choose to invest.
Yeah, so self-managed super fund, or SMSF as they're more commonly known. It's a type of superannuation fund. It allows individuals to have direct control over their retirement savings and investment choices. So unlike the traditional super funds where decisions are kind of made by the fund managers, a self-managed super fund gives the control for you to choose how your money's invested. So that's one of the main reasons people opt for self-managed super funds, is that control, and especially when it comes to property investment. So we know that property can be a stable and tangible asset, so providing both rental income and also long-term capital growth. So yeah, using a self-managed super fund, you can diversify your retirement savings into property, take advantage of some of the benefits associated with superannuation. So for instance, like rental income, capital growth within a superannuation fund are taxed significantly lower than they are personally, so which can enhance your return, your investment return.
Gotcha. So we've seen a lot of interest in property investment through self-managed super funds recently. Why do you think it's such a popular choice?
So property investment through superannuation, I think, is popular for several reasons. Firstly, the superannuation just offers that significant tax advantages. So rental income and capital gains within a superannuation fund, self-managed super fund, taxed at a maximum rate of 15%. So that's generally a lot lower than what personal income tax rates are. So this just means you can retain more of your investment returns. Secondly, the property in times of market volatility can be more stable, or it's seen as more stable. So unlike shares that can obviously fluctuate a lot in value, property tends to appreciate gradually over the time. And also property is more of that tangible asset, so providing security. It's something you can see, you can touch. And you've got that combination, I think, of rental income and that capital growth, which just makes it a valuable addition to diversifying your retirement incomes.
Yeah. It's definitely nice to be able to drive past your investment, I guess, or have a look at it and actually touch and feel it, and see what your money is actually put away in, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, especially for me. I mean, I obviously like property, so for me that's a big bonus. So I mean, lots of people are obviously thinking about buying property in a self-managed super fund. So what kind of properties are allowed? I mean, are there any properties that you're not allowed to do?
Yeah, so within a self-managed super fund, you can purchase a variety of properties. So those include residential, commercial, and also rural properties. However, there are some specific rules and regulations that govern these investments. So for instance, properties acquired through a self-managed super fund, they cannot be used for personal purposes, so they must be rented out at market rates and to unrelated parties. This means you can't live in the property, you can't rent it to a relative. Additionally, the property investment must align with that self-managed super fund's investment strategy, so which really should be documented in the fund's investment plan. So if you think about that strategy, it outlines the fund's objectives, the asset allocation, and measures for the monitoring of the performance of the investment. Again, it's obviously important to make sure that you conduct thorough research and due diligence before purchasing a property, just to ensure that it meets that self-managed super fund's long-term goals and complies with those regulatory requirements.
Yep, fantastic. So investing in property sounds fantastic, especially in your self-managed super fund, but it's obviously not all upside. What are some of the risks that sort of go along with this type of investment?
Yeah, so while the self-managed super funds offer significant advantages, they also come with the risks that trustees should be aware of. So one of the primary risks obviously is market volatility, so property values can fluctuate and rental income is definitely not guaranteed. So for instance, if the property market experiences a downturn, the value of SMSF's property investment could decrease. That's obviously going to impact the overall return of those retirement savings. Another risk you've got is liquidity. So property is less liquid compared to shares and bonds, meaning it can take time to sell it if you need access to those funds quickly. Additionally, managing that self-managed super fund, it requires a significant amount of time and effort. Trustees are responsible for ensuring that that fund complies with all regulatory requirements, including record keeping, reporting, conducting annual audits, those types of things. So failing to comply with those requirements can result in penalties. I suppose furthermore, borrowing to buy in property in a self-managed super fund, known as a limited recourse borrowing arrangement, or LRBA, adds another layer of risk. And interest rate fluctuations obviously can affect the cost of the loan. If the property market underperforms, it could strain the self-managed super fund's finances. It's just critical to conduct that thorough research, seek professional advice, and ensure the investment aligns with that self-managed super fund's overall objectives and risk tolerance.
Fantastic. And I guess just touching on, you mentioned the borrowing side of things for self-managed super funds. How does that work? What does that look like? Because obviously we don't all have millions of dollars sitting in super.
Yeah. So borrowing to buy property within a self-managed super fund is facilitated through that LRBA, so limited recourse borrowing arrangement. So an LRBA allows the self-managed super fund to take out a loan just to purchase the asset while limiting the lender's recourse on the asset purchased. So this means that if the loan defaults, then the lender cannot claim on other assets of the self-managed super fund. Okay. That borrowing arrangement within a self-managed super fund has to comply with strict regulations. So the property must be held in a separate trust until the loan is repaid. Terms of the loan must be on a commercial basis. And additionally, the borrowing arrangement should align with that risk profile, the self-managed super fund's investment strategy and risk profile. Trustees also need to consider the impact of interest rate fluctuations on the SMSF's cash, just to ensure that it can meet loan repayments without compromising any of the other investments. Again, it just highlights it's advisable obviously to seek professional advice before entering into an LRBA. Ensure it's set up correctly and just meets all those key regulatory compliance requirements.
So I guess just on those key regulatory compliance issues, what are the key things that people should be aware of?
Yeah, so the stringent compliance regulatory requirements include adhering to kind of investment restrictions that we discussed before, maintaining accurate records, and conducting those annual audits. So trustees must be ensure that their investment decisions comply with that sole purpose test, so which mandates that the fund is maintained for the provision of your retirement benefits. Okay, so this means that all investments must be made with the intention of providing retirement benefits to the members, not for personal gain now. Additionally, the borrowing arrangements must meet specific conditions to be compliant with superannuation rules. For instance, property must be held in a separate trust and the terms of the loan must be on that commercial basis. Trustees are also required to prepare and implement that investment strategy. It outlines the fund's objectives, the asset allocation, the measures for monitoring investment performance, and regular reviews of that investment strategy are essential. That ensures that it remains relevant and aligned to that fund's goals. Compliance with these regulations is crucial. Non-compliance can result in penalties and impact the self-managed super fund's tax concessions. So it's just where it's advisable to make sure you've got that professional guidance that can make sure you're meeting those regulatory requirements, ensuring that self-managed super fund operates efficiently.
Yeah, seems to be there's a lot to consider, and it's not something you just go out and set it up yourself and start buying property and hope for the best. A lot of compliance there. This sounds fantastic, and investing through your self-managed super fund sounds like a fantastic idea, but I'm guessing it's not for everybody. What's the sort of ideal person or client to invest in property through super?
Yeah, so investing through a self-managed super fund is best suited for individuals that have a substantial superannuation balance. They need a good understanding of property markets and a willingness to manage the administrative complexities of a self-managed super fund. It's also beneficial just for those looking for greater control over their investment decisions and seeking, obviously, diversify their retirement portfolio with the tangible assets of the property. Typically, individuals who are financially literate, have long-term investment horizons, can commit to the time resources to manage a self-managed super fund, are well suited for this type of investment. But just on that, obviously it's important to note that setting up a self-managed super fund involves costs. There's accounting, auditing, legal fees. We need to make sure that those benefits outweigh those costs, and that investment aligns with your retirement objectives.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, it sounds like there is so much involved in this, so I guess it's really important to get that team behind you. And this has been super helpful to just spread some light on self-managed super funds and investing in property through those funds. Just before we wrap up, what would be your top piece of advice for anyone who's looking to invest in property through their SMSF?
Yeah, so the top piece of advice, if you are considering property investment through the self-managed super fund, is just to seek professional guidance. Okay, So consult your financial advisor, an accountant, a buyer's agent, and a legal expert. Ensure that investment strategy aligns with your retirement strategy and complies with all those regulatory requirements. There is thorough research and planning that is crucial to leveraging those benefits of the self-managed super fund while mitigating the associated risk with it. It's important to have a clear understanding of that property market, conducting due diligence, making sure that it aligns with that self-managed super fund's long-term goals, because it is your retirement savings that you're messing with. Additionally, you need to consider the impacts of any interest rate fluctuations, property market conditions. That self-managed super fund cash flow is paramount. And you've got to make sure you're doing regular reviews of the self-managed super fund investment strategy. Make sure it remains aligned with the objectives. And professional advice will obviously help you just to maximise the benefits of it. Ensure that you're aligning with the regulatory rules, making sure that you've secured that long-term future. Yeah,
fantastic, excellent. Mate, thank you so much for sharing your insights today. It's been really great. If anyone wants to get in touch with you regarding self-managed super funds or property investment, how do they reach you? What's the best way?
Yeah, you can jump on the website and send a note through, and for clients in set levels, we do complimentary strategy sessions in there to go through stuff and see if it actually works. With anyone thinking on the self-managed super fund, the first thing that we ever do is that self-managed super fund feasibility. So just have a look at some rough numbers to make sure it's actually going to be appropriate for them. That gives us a pretty clear answer if we're going to continue on with the planning, or if maybe there's better options out there for them.
Awesome. And the website address?
valuewealth.au.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thanks again. Thanks for listening and tuning in. We hope you found this chat useful, and until next time, take care and happy investing.